Hey girls, I've got something real important to tell you, so just sit down and listen. Girl, we've been in this class such a long time. And you're almost ready to graph curvy lines.
Wow, you know it's finals, and these graphs have got me stressed. Sines and cosines, you will be impressed.
You will be impressed. These lines are special, so take off the top.
Take a look inside. It's my graph in a box.
Graph in the box. Not gonna graph you a boring thing. That sort of line don't mean anything. Not gonna do geometry. This is algebra, not stoichiometry. Not gonna graph a parabola. Make a thesis or a diorama. Wanna graph a line that's from the heart. It's a curvy line. It's my graph in a box. My graph in a box, girl. It's my graph in a box. Ooh, my graph in a box, girl. See, I'm wise enough to know when a sign needs graphing, and I got just the one. Something to show you, cosines are second to none. For all the St. Mary's girls with TVIC to impress, it's easy to do, just follow these steps. 1.
Cut a hole in a box.
2.
Put your graph in that box.
3.
Make TVIC open the box.
And that's the way you graph it. It's my graph in a box. My graph in a box, girl. It's my graph in a box. Ooh, my graph in a box, girl. Second semester.
Graph in a box.
Finals.
Graph in a box.
SAT.
Graph in a box.
Every single math test. Graph in a box. Room number 202. Graph in a box. Meet me at the library. Graph in a box. Alex Trebek on Jeopardy question. Graph in a box. Yeah, wow, 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 wow. Graph in a box. Graph in a box.
Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to.
Alright, so this is our lesson plan, and the first thing we're going to talk about in graphing sine and cosine given the amplitude and period are what amplitude is and what period is, and then the general shape of both sine and cosine graphs. So amplitude is 1/2 distance between the highest and lowest point. You can see that amplitude is shown right here on this dotted line.
Okay, hold it.
Okay. And period is the length of one cycle of a graph, which is shown by the dotted line in P. Okay. And when graphing a sine wave, you always want to start at the origin. And in graphing a cosine, you want to start at the crest of the amplitude instead of at the origin, like a sine graph. Alright, now here's an example problem. Cover this enough. You can see that we have the equation y equals 3 sine pi x, and that is represented in the graph here. And just to show you how we did that is we realized that it was a sine graph, and so we started at the origin, and then the number in front of the sine is the amplitude, and so we made our units go up to 3. And then if you look down here, this is how you find the period. And so we realized that the b was pi, and so we put in 2 pi over pi, which then the pi's cancel out, so your period is 2. And so as you can see, one wave goes to 2. So this is an example of how to graph a cosine, and as you can see, we found our amplitude, which is 2, and marked that on the graph. And then our period is 2 pi over 2, as you can see that we found the 2 there, which would be pi, and so we've marked that on the graph. And alright, and then in this cosine problem, actually we have 2 shifts, which would be a horizontal, or a vertical and a horizontal. And so that's represented by the h and the k. So represented by the H and the K is the vertical and the horizontal shift, and remember that you have to change the sign for the horizontal shift. And I don't know if you can see it, but we have a little light line of what the shifted graph is. I'll draw it in pen. And so we took each point and we shifted up 1 for the vertical shift and -1 for the horizontal shift, because you have to change the sign.
Slow down, I can't hold back, though you know I wish I could. I know there ain't no rest for the wicked until we close our eyes for good. Not even 15 minutes later, I'm still walking down the street when I saw the shadow of a man creep out of sight.